There seems to be a little bit of a miscommunication when it comes to KonMari and books. This is probably going to end up being my first YouTube video, so I'm going to try to keep it short because it's probably going to be a little bit awkward and embarrassing. And also, I'm not going to be on camera because my hair isn't fixed today. But I will say that I am a full KonMari graduate, if you want to call it that. I did my first festival 2.5 years ago before we moved from Minnesota to Colorado. And then I just did like a reboot before Christmas because I hadn't really gone over my categories since we moved, and things just needed some fine tuning and so a little bit more reduction because kids. And I will say, I hear a lot of people say they could never do KonMari because of books. This is my book collection, and I probably will end up fine tuning this a little bit in the coming months just because things are constantly coming in and I don't ever want it to get so full that things are overflowing. I really like to be able to have a shelf that looks like this versus one that's just overflowing with books. But as of right now, everything that's on these shelves sparks joy. There's nothing in the books or in anything that Marie Kondo has ever said that says you can only have 30 books. You should never have more than 100 books. Her point that she tries to make is that people hold on to books for reasons that aren't necessarily practical. You hold on to them because you want to look smart. You keep books around that you want people to see and assume that you have read, which is called aspirational something. Or you keep books that you think you're going to read, but you've had them for 5 years, and if you've had them for that long, you're never going to read them. I keep a variety of books for a variety of reasons, and neither of those are it. I have a bunch of reference books over here. Most of them are on hiking or plant identification, or foraging, or things like that. Because I use those, I reference those frequently. That's the far left. This shelf is mostly, it's like odds and ends. A majority of my books are YA, so this is little bits of adult fiction, and these are my husband's. He probably would get mad if I use the word collect, but he likes antique books on flour milling because he's a flour miller and also a big fat nerd about it. But yeah, there's some other random stuff down there. Those are all our photo albums. Those are magazines that I probably shouldn't keep, but honestly the boxes spark joy. So until they're overflowing or he finds something else that needs to go in them, there they are. But yeah, that's it. This is my YA books. They're honestly like embarrassing. No well-read person is going to be like, look at all my awesome YA books. Look, I have an entire shelf of Cassandra Clare. That's definitely not, I guess, perhaps that's rationalization, but since a majority of people would view that as more embarrassing than anything, I'm like, these are the books that make me happy though. The majority of the shelves in the center of the screen here are first editions that I collect. A lot of them are signed. And then these are my paper, well, the bottom left shelf is still first editions, but the rest of these are paperbacks. And they're the books that actually get read, which is a whole nother thing, but you don't read the first editions. That's not entirely true. Sometimes I do. I'm just a little more careful with them. But yeah, that's books and Marie Kondo, and hopefully I don't hate the sound of my voice so much I delete this video.